I thought I could do some heavy breathing over the music and it would sound awkward, but it didn't. It just sounded like me being tired.
Yeah.
And exasperated.
I was like, what's happening?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Welcome to another episode of the Alter Ego Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing swell, sir. How are you?
Oh, you know, living the dream. And my beautiful temptress is here with me.
Hello.
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 Things
Hello,
are
everybody.
Good. Oh my goodness. What a day, what a day, what a day. So we used to record these on the Thursday prior. Now we've started taking to recording them Monday, the day that we're releasing them. So shortly after we record this, we're going to set it up. And I kind of like that. I don't know about you guys. Mm-hmm. It's giving us some time for some weekend updates.
Yeah. Hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses. Oh my
Real
goodness.
Hot.
And so, yeah, episode 94. So if you're looking at our episodes and you're like, what the hell is going on? It's because a long time ago when we were working out at 7 Lamb 1 Studios and Rob was releasing these for us, he just made it Newsy number 1. And so the episodes got kind of convoluted because we did episode 1, 2, 3, then Newsy 1, and it just got fucking confusing. So I went in there and updated everything to look a little bit more uniform. So here we are arriving at episode 94. Hope it makes sense. If you counted them all like I had to, and then go in there and edit every single episode like I had to, you'd understand.
But now it's not wacky tacky anymore.
No, it's not. Nope. Nobody's going to look at it and go, wait a minute, is this the 13th episode or the 65th episode?
I'm so confused.
Although I'm sure nobody would look at that and say that. If you did, please seek professional assistance.
Or don't. We're not here to be your therapist.
And just live your life and have fun.
Whoa, I'm a therapist.
That's how Ryan does that all the time. We'll go out to eat and they'll be like, what would you like to drink? He's like, excuse me, I'm a fucking doctor, okay?
I'm a doctor. You should listen to me.
So anyway, we are on day 4,374 of the Ford supply boycott because they haven't gotten us a new ad.
Yep.
But they have great sense of soap, and it's no bullshit. So,
Real soap, no bullshit.
FordSupply.com.
Last I checked, if you use Alter Ego, the promo code Alter Ego, you get 10% off your order. Ford soap, real
I
soap.
don't know. I'm concerned at this point.
No bullshit.
I'm concerned that it might be expired.
But
try it because
the promo code. Just try it. Just throw it in there.
It's not expired.
Throw anything comic related in there and just see what you get. I think that could work.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Another big shout out to Tony and Nello's. I don't have a new ad from them either.
But that's okay because Tony and Ello's, a hidden gem on the outskirts of St. Petersburg, Florida.
Wow, I should let you do the ads every time.
Tierra Verde, Florida is a must-try for homemade Italian lunch or dinner. Just remember to bring your appetite because the portions are very generous.
How generous?
Very generous. 727-867-3577, TonyandEllis.com.
I thought you were about to hit us with 867-53.
I know, I really wanted to, but I don't want to confuse anybody, and I want them to call the right number. Send some prayers up to the crew there. And
send them some business. Go eat some Italian food. Go check them out. So, anyway, diving right in. We have got a jam-packed episode for you today. A lot of things to talk about.
Ooh, jam-packed, huh?
We're talking about the Batman, first and foremost, director Matt Reeves. First and foremost, Matt Reeves, oh my God, I can't talk. March 4th, right? March 4th? That's when the movie drops. March 4th, not May 4th, March 4th. That is when this movie is going to hit the silver screen, as they say. So I know I'll be there to watch it. Hope you do too. We're going to be talking about it very soon. Is the hype all worth it?
Probably not.
So Matt Reeves says this is not so much an origin story for Batman. Thank God. I think we all breathe a huge sigh of relief hearing that. He goes, it's more of an origin story for the rogues galleries of villains. For instance, Catwoman is no longer Selena Kyle. Oh my gosh. I just can't talk today.
Somebody named Selena.
Selena Kyle is not yet Catwoman, and the Penguin is not yet the kingpin of Gotham City that he is and we know and love in our normal Batman. So this is more development for those villains.
Fun stuff.
And I'm kind of like, okay, that's happened before in Batman Forever when we saw how Poison Ivy got her powers. We also saw it with Batman with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. We saw how they got their powers there. We saw it with the one with Mr. Freeze, which is the same one with Poison Ivy. So this isn't really a new thing, I don't think. But, whatever. I'm ready. I'm just ready for the movie to be out. You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
So
I'm just going to use my Batman voice for the rest of this series.
I was going to say, are you going to do it for like when we go to the movie? I'll take a popcorn.
Oh my God, that would be
and
hilarious.
perhaps a diet soda.
I'm coming fully dressed like Batman.
I'm ready to see that. You and I could be a couple of fat
Knight.
Batman going in there.
The actual Dark Knight.
Wow, that would be excellent.
Oh my gosh. The second thing, which is the subject matter of next week's episode, by the way, Peacemaker, baby. I can't wait for this because I know you are just dreading watching Peacemaker, and I can't wait for you to get through those first couple episodes and message me and go, bro, this show is actually so good.
I don't know. I've watched the first one.
Have you?
And I'm like, I am not looking forward to the rest
I've been
of
too
this.
busy watching and rewatching over and over and over again Vox Machina, which will be in the
She
near
has
future.
very near future
So,
because that just wrapped as well.
Yeah.
But speaking of Peacemaker, season 2 already confirmed with James Gunn, the head guy, coming in to write and direct every single episode of season 2. I don't want to get into it because we're going to talk about it next week. But I don't think it's a spoiler that I liked this episode or this series a lot.
No, you keep talking about it. On and off the air.
I'm gonna get you to watch it, and you're gonna message me at some point and be like, "Why the fuck am I? What is this?"
I'm going to message you on
you
the
are.
couch next to you. Cool.
Not next to me. You're gonna watch it while you're at home working.
No.
She's gonna give me the typical. So I had it on in the background, but I didn't really get a lot of it. So you're gonna have to tell me a lot before we hit record.
That's pretty much today.
That's a wonderful slapdick impersonation of you.
Whoa. So you mean I had to watch Boba Fett?
Yeah, because
You did?
I didn't
She
get
did
around
watch
to
it.
it.
For
I
shame.
did.
It was on several times
Yeah.
with
shame.
her.
I watched
around.
I just watched them in chunks.
Where's
I
your
watched-
commitment, Megan?
Anyway, I'm pretty sure I missed the middle 2 episodes somehow, but I
No,
saw
you
the
didn't.
first 3 and the last 3. So
I
there we
mean,
go.
it's already bad enough that the residential Star Wars guru and
You
super
are the
nice
Star Wars
guy
guru.
You are the Star Wars.
watched it several
Did
times.
we? When did we arrive at that?
Yeah,
We
I
never
don't-
did. That's my point. Is I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
was gonna
about
say,
Star Wars.
I feel like
And
that's
had
a
to
train
suffer
we
through
missed.
this, and I'm
You
like,
suffered. Okay, we're gonna get to
Yeah.
that. We're gonna get to it. Okay, so let's get into the random and video game news. I had to kind of put them together because there wasn't a lot of random, but there was a good amount of video game style news. So here's something terrifying. Disney unveils new residential communities called Story Living. For those who can't get enough of Disney in their lives, the company announced Story Living by Disney. The first one in Rancho Mirage, California, will be designed by Imagineers, and Disney cast members will operate the community association. How terrible does that sound?
Awful.
sounds
You
like the
sit
good
down
place.
for a community meeting and like there's Goofy. Hey George, we need to tell you to stop masturbating in the retention pond.
Wow.
Oh
Man.
boy, the Smiths forgot to pay their dues again.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad. Although I'm sure Disney fans are gonna absolutely
They're gonna
eat that shit
freaking
up
eat it up.
and love it.
I'm a Disney
I just-
fan, and I'm not a fan of that whole plan.
How about like if you don't pay your rent, you have to deal with the Disney villains? Wouldn't that be great?
Nice.
Actually, yeah, that would be hilarious.
No one evicts like
So-
Gaston. Get the fuck out like
So this is
Gaston.
basically
Gaston
like-
shows up with a baseball bat. Hey,
So this is
gonna
basically
need
like
those
a
HOA fees.
community.
I broke your windshield with this bat like Gaston.
So this is just a community that like their HOA is basically just a bunch of Disney characters.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
guessing.
so. That's what it says in the
That
the
sounds
information that I received.
awful.
Yeah.
It does.
Like the whole point, let me just stop real quick because I know we're about to get into video games and I'll be super quick on this point. But the whole point about things like Disney is so that you can separate your real fucking life from shit that you enjoy.
Yeah,
and it
so-
doesn't just envelop everything that you do. Like you have to adult. You have to do shit that is adulting and isn't just Disney this, Disney that all the time, unless you're fucking Walt Disney himself. Or you work for Disney, sure.
you mean
whatever.
the head in the bottom of the basement?
Sure.
Just cryogenically frozen.
I'm just saying the reason that Disney is the thing is and video games and that sort of thing is so that you really can escape into things that you enjoy, not so that you can just shove them in your face all
Are
the
you
time.
are you really surprised that people want to live in La La Land?
No, because
looking
if
at
I
the
could live in a
outside world?
Dungeons and Dragons world, I probably would. But that's
Wow.
beside the point.
Yeah, I always think people that love Disney are a little weird to me.
I mean, like, no. Listen, and I think I know where you're going. Like, the people who like Disney and like to go to Disney, even go to Disney quite regularly, I get that.
Nope,
but
I
the
don't.
people who tattoo themselves and get really, really, really super into the Disney stuff, I'm just kind of like,
I mean, tattoo themselves, says
Like-
the man who wants a sock of villains and bad guys and things.
yeah, of all different sorts of characters, not dedicated to Disney.
Maybe they only like Disney.
And that's what I'm
stuff.
saying. I don't get that. They probably also don't have a Cthulhu arm sleeve tattoo theme on them either.
I don't base like my judgments based on people's artistic and tattoos and motivation.
But when they move into the
when they move
community-
into a community to where like your garbage is getting picked up by fucking the Beast and
we all know that would be a Seven Dwarfs job.
Dopey,
Don't get
whatever.
crazy.
Real.
I'm just saying, like,
Thank you for saying the same thing I did, but a different way.
no, nope.
And
Mine made
can
more
you
sense.
Imagine how expensive it's going to be.
Oh my gosh.
And
there.
ridiculous. And just-
Ridiculous.
Oh.
It's
and it's
gonna
like
be
every
so-
street sign has like Mickey ears. No,
If there isn't like a Tinker Tape parade every damn day night I go to bed.
I feel like I would
fireworks
like
and the
that.
thing
Something.
every single day.
and they're paying for it too.
Now, mind you, if it
I'm
was
fighting somebody.
if it was a massive vacation destination to where it was like B&Es and you can like rent out a whole house, and I know that they have those all over. but, like,
Breaking and entering?
No,
That's what I was gonna say. What's a B&E? I thought it
bed
was
and
breaking
breakfast. Oh, it's
B&B.
You forgot the B.
so that would be dope though if you
Hit the
could.
ground, motherfuckers! And it's the Seven Dwarfs still on theme. It's Bruce from Finding Nemo. Hit the deck, mate.
Hi, Bruce.
Hello, Bruce.
Hello, Bruce. Anyways, I'm just saying,
Jesus.
like, it would be one thing if you could like rent like big houses for like weeks at a time, and it was like temporary.
Like an Airbnb.
Sure. Whatever. This is definitely in California, right?
This is it's 100% California.
1000%.
Where else
Okay.
would it be?
That makes total sense.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. And if you're interested in this, I mean, listen, please help
Yeah,
us understand.
We're not knocking it. We just really want to understand.
We want to get it. So help us help you.
Yeah, I still don't get it.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle love it. My wife loves it.
Your wife does love it.
you
Oh, she's
cannot-
one of them.
You cannot pay me enough money to go to Disney.
Yes.
I haven't been. I've lived in Florida my whole
Really?
life, and I've never
The
been.
problem
So-
with Disney is that there's people there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, fun fact: one of the first times that I ever went, I was for Abby's birthday, for my wife's birthday, and they thought that I was being a dick the entire time, just because I can't stand crowds. I don't see the point of waiting 3 hours in a line to ride a 10-second ride.
Right.
I am just miserable there.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Wow, he's like this on his birthday." I'm like, "I just hate this place."
So I'm gonna go
This
ahead
is-
and
this is
side
not
with,
the happiest
with
place
Megan on
on
this one.
Yeah.
Like I am all down for the adventure, for the costumes, people, for the shows. Sounds great. The problem is the other million people there.
Yes, I do not like people, and I do not like lines.
Yeah.
And just it's not that none of us in this room like people, because I mean maybe we don't, but we don't like crowds of people and lots of
Yeah,
people we
for
don't
sure.
know.
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah,
that don't
that's
wear
what we mean.
deodorant
No,
and like
no.
all the things
I don't
in
like
one
people.
place.
We
it
mean
makes
crowds
it
and-
miserable.
and the lack of deodorant and the lack of any sort of social cues whatsoever by some people when they show up there. They feel like all bets are off. Anyway, we're on this way too long. Let's move on to some video game news, shall we? Capcom today released announced so much that Street Fighter 6 is finally coming out. Were you a Street Fighter fan growing up, or were you a Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat?
I was Street Fighter. I was both.
I was Street Fighter.
I was Street Fighter too.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually was. I take that back. I was a Tekken guy. I liked Tekken more than anything.
Yeah, Tekken didn't come out till later, but that's my jam.
Yeah, Street Fighter was okay. It also doesn't help that my brother would beat the brakes off of me with Ryu, and that game would get super old super quick.
Yep.
You're like, okay, this is fun that you're really good and I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm excited. I want to see who's going to be on the roster. I'm going to see if they add any new characters, anything good. We'll check it out. You wait
Isn't
3
it
months,
still
it'll
gonna
be
be-
half off.
PlayStation exclusive.
I don't think Capcom is a PlayStation
oh no,
exclusive.
the last Street Fighter was PlayStation exclusive.
Well, if it is, then they're stupid.
Yeah.
Truly. Well, who knows? They might get bought before then.
Hey, Capcom, what you need to really do is make a Monster Hunter World 2. Quit fucking off. Let's go.
And that wasn't exclusive, and that's a Capcom release.
Yep. But for some weird reason, they made Street Fighter a PlayStation joint.
That's why he's bitter. We
And
found
then-
out. There it is.
Definitely.
No, and then I think they put it on PC or something else, but yeah.
Well, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
That it would be
But
PC and PlayStation.
But not on Xbox.
Anyway, Sonic 2 coming out very soon. I mean, I think it shows a lot of promise. I enjoy the Sonic verse, air quotes. We'll put that there. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see Idris Elba. Apparently, the studio is already super excited for this because they've already greenlit Sonic 3 for Paramount Pictures, and they've got Idris Elba signed up for a Knuckles series coming to Paramount Plus.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So clearly they're all in on Sonic. We've already got Tails. We've already got Sonic. We've got Knuckles. Who else do we need? The Dark Sonic?
I don't know. I don't know that much about Sonic.
I don't
don't
either,
either.
but it sounds fun.
The golden rings.
Yeah.
That's
well,
all
the
I
rings
know.
were in the last one.
Whatever.
Jesus.
I just want to see some gold Sonic.
I'm interested. I want to see it. I'm hype. Halo TV series, not even dropped yet. Nothing is out for Halo TV. However, it's already been renewed for season 2. So clearly people are excited for that one. That one looks like it's going to get bloody as well. Like it's going to get a little crazy. And it's been unveiled that you will see the Master Chief's face early and often in that series, which is the thing that you've never seen Master Chief's face in the game at all. Like
But-
you've seen the back of his head, you've seen him silhouetted, but you've never seen his actual face.
And he's going to turn around and be a regular dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, bro.
Hey, what's up? I'm John.
I'm John.
My favorite in Halo Infinite, which I've been playing a good amount of, is when one of the little grunts goes, "Did you know the Spartan's real name is John? What kind of name is John?"
Is that what he sounds like?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's exactly what it sounds like. Anybody out there listening, please confirm. But, I was thinking, for a while it was remakes of old movies, which it still kind of is remakes of old movies. Then came what we're living in now, which is the comic book movie craze, where we see a lot of comic book movies. Next, I think, is going to be the video game series. I'll tell you why. Here's a list that came out from IGN of all the video game movies that are in production right now. Not rumored, they're in production. They're coming. Sonic 2, the Mario Brothers movie, Minecraft the movie, Tomb Raider 2, Pokemon Detective Pikachu 2, I'm into that, Borderlands, Bioshock, Yakuza, Mega Man, Beyond Good and Evil, Metal Gear Solid, Call of Duty, Half-Life, Portal, Firewatch. Whoa.
Call of
Firewatch?
Duty?
I'm sorry.
Firewatch?
These are movies?
Yes. Yes, let me finish.
Yeah.
The Division.
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
No.
Just Dance.
Why?
How the fuck is that a movie? And then Dragon's Lair, which
Sure.
just sounds cool.
Whatever.
But I knew you'd perk up at The Division, the movie.
No, not really. That's been a thing that's been rumored since the first Division came out.
but
it's
how
in
is
production.
there a movie
Nothing's
about
happened.
Just Dance?
I want to know too.
Hey, I'll wait to see the Division. I'll probably see Blade before I see the Division.
Yeah, you will.
And the Tomb Raider
You will because
movies
Blade's real.
sucked.
No, it's not. It's all vaporware.
I
The
cannot
original
wait.
Tomb Raider movies sucked. Why would they circle back?
No, this is not the Angelina Jolie.
It doesn't matter. When you fail once, stop going back in time.
Well,
Find something
okay,
new.
so you're off base here because there have been
Okay.
3 Tomb Raiders, and then
Also-
there was a remake of the new one with a new actress.
I don't know.
And
I'm still
from
stuck
what
on
I've
the Just
heard,
Dance thing, if I'm being serious.
From what I've heard, she was pretty good.
Still stuck on Just Dance.
It's like Step Up,
Right.
No, that's dumb.
What do you think they're doing? They're
But
stomping the yard.
so is it like, is the storyline going to be like virtual dancing games, but like it all takes place inside of the virtual world?
All I know is I want
Stupid.
this movie to wind up on, what's that TV
So
show?
Ready Player One, pretty much.
Why is this a TV show?
No, the one where they sit there and talk. I got 2 Funkos from it.
Oh,
Mystery Science Theater. Please
Yeah,
put
that would
Just
be funny.
Dance on that movie.
That would
on
be
that
hilarious.
So that was a list of movies. We can go back and look at it, but there's there's a couple video game series. I'm like, you guys are missing out. You could actually make a pretty good movie with this. TV shows, The Last of Us, Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, which I imagine is going to be a cartoon. The Untitled Knuckles series, we just talked about that. A Tomb Raider anime series, a Pokemon live action series. A lot of people will watch that. The Witcher season 3, we knew about that. The Witcher Blood Origin, which is a cartoon. Arcane season 2, woohoo!
Okay.
Assassin's Creed, Resident Evil, Castlevania spin-off series.
Okay.
Let's freaking do it. Fallout, Mass Effect, Captain Laserhawk. Who the fuck is Captain Laserhawk?
And why is he a Blood Dragon remix? That's what it says in his notes.
Title. That's the full title. Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. I couldn't care any less. But this name looks so ridiculous that I want to see it. Devil May Cry, Sonic Prime, Splinter Cell, and Brothers in Arms. This is definitely jumping into the video game movie era and video game TV show era.
So Splinter Cell is going to be a TV show?
Yeah.
I'm kind of here for that.
Oh, listen to this.
Sam Fisher.
Look at this fella.
Yeah.
Look at this fella over here. And you're not in for Fallout?
Never played any of them.
I have. They're decent. There's definitely. Oh, and the Fallout series has the guy from he was in Justified. He was in Django Unchained. He was in Sons of Anarchy for a little while.
We will be having white cake.
No,
White cake.
it was the other guy who worked for him, who's been in a lot of shooter
Django.
TV shows. He was in Django. Do you
Not
know who I'm
Django.
talking
Samuel
about?
Jackson.
No, not Samuel. He's not black. He's a white guy.
Samuel L. Jackson.
And
I don't see
he
color.
and he is. I don't see color. He's playing. That's why you always walk in and go, "Black guys here." But no. But he was in The Shield as well. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
I know that. I see the guy's face. I think I know who you're talking
But
about.
he is playing one of the ravaged, like zombie-looking characters, which lets me know this is going to have a lot of comedic elements to it. But no Gears of War,
I know. That's what I was thinking.
no Gears,
So
boys.
I do have a question to circle
I'm
back
not
to the
ready for
TV
that.
shows before you keep on scrolling.
I'm here for it too. You don't play Gears.
That story is amazing.
still
Okay, so hold on. Maybe the
You don't
game
like
is
it?
just.
I didn't really care for it on a multiplayer. The guys are too big and bulky. And when I was first playing it in the third-person view, wasn't really keen on it when it first dropped and came out. Now, though, I'm sure I can give it a run.
Listen, I own all of them and will run you through that. I will be the Dom to your Marcus.
So this is my theory on why it's not a TV show or a movie. Maybe
sounds
the
really
game
sexy, by
is
the way.
just
I'm in.
the game is just so good at telling the story itself that it doesn't need to be a movie.
Well, we all know, we've talked about this, that Dave Bautista has openly been begging to play Marcus Phoenix in a movie.
For people
and
like me who don't play video games.
to the point where they put Bautista in the game.
Yeah.
You can play through the campaign with the Bautista version of Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, I think Microsoft has the rights to those, and I don't see them getting in the movie game like that.
I do, actually, because if they're trying to get this big movie star involved, they're trying to generate the hype. But I will say this, Gears 3 is the only game that brought a tear out of my face.
Mm-hmm.
So Gears 3, hype train, it was really good. I will always be that guy that's first in line to get a Gears series, for sure. I love that. So but anyway, we're moving on.
Hold
we're
on.
moving
Question on the TV
Yeah,
show
yeah,
video
yeah.
games. Will Laura Bailey be in The Last of Us?
If she is, I don't think at the point that they're starting it, she will be, but that would be amazing.
Yeah.
If she is.
Because I'm in. So
I don't understand why they're making a Call of Duty.
Right. What is that going to be? Like, what
Every
are they
other
following?
war
Black
movie?
Ops? Are they following Modern Warfare? What are they doing?
I don't know.
Are they going to have care packages and stuff like that? Like, we'll see.
The Division did excite me. I remember when the game came out and they were doing those little shorts.
It looked good.
That was awesome.
It looked really good.
Those little shorts. I'm like, if there was any show that or game that could make a really good movie, The Division would have been it.
So long as the enemies don't take 5,000 bullets to kill.
Yeah, and if it would have been its original form and been a zombie game, that would have really been dope as
That
a
really
zombie
would've.
movie. But I mean, I'm here for it.
Just so, I think we've talked about this before, but I don't know if it's been public knowledge. But Ryan has put half of his actual life into The Division.
Yeah,
He played half of his living, breathing life in that game.
it was awesome.
But Yeah, that's a lot of stuff coming out right now. Arcane season 2, super hyped
I'm
for
really
it.
excited about that.
Witcher season 3, here for it. Last of Us, here for it. Cyberpunk, I'll pass.
Is that live action?
Yeah, no, it doesn't say. It just says Edge Runners, but some of them do say animated, some of them don't. Like the Tomb Raider series is animated, the other one. But I'm interested in the Pokemon live action series too. That could be good.
I don't know how you do Pokemon live action.
Right. I know what you mean, but like the way watching Detective Pikachu, I was like, they could do it. They could do it. The way that looked, they could do it. I don't know if it'll have that same polish, but think about that game or that movie on a much smaller scale. You could definitely do it.
Yeah. And the Cyberpunk, I wonder if Keanu Reeves will be in it.
I doubt it.
Johnny Silverhands or whatever his name is.
Is that his real name in the game?
In the game, yeah. It's
Oh
Keanu
my
Reeves.
word.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, sure, Johnny Silverhands. I'm glad I didn't pre-order it or get on that train at all or anything, because that game was a nightmare from start to
You know what's
finish.
funny is everyone's so hyped, and I'm just like, bro, this game is going to let everyone down. You got to keep your expectations low.
Yep.
So that way when it's decent, you're like, oh, not so bad.
Yeah.
Put them way up there. They're just going to disappoint you and let you down.
Huh. Well, with that one, you certainly weren't wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But either way, let's take our first break of the day, shall we? And then we're going to get into Marvel and a little bit of TV, and then we're going to talk about my good friend Bob Fett. So we are going to take a quick break, but you guys aren't going anywhere. We'll see you as soon as we're on the other side. And we're back. Marvel news, baby. You know who's always been an advocate for Marvel movies is Kevin Smith, who did Jay and Silent Bob. He did Clerks. He did Chasing Amy, Mallrats, Tusk. He's done
Clerks
a bunch
3
of movies.
coming too.
I know.
Can't
I
wait.
know. I'm excited for Clerks 3. Clerks 2 was one of the best movies he's ever put out. So Clerks 3 is definitely going to be interesting.
37 dicks.
It's 36 sticks.
It was 36.
Yeah.
7 by the time.
And then he goes, what about mine? 37. Such a good monologue. I actually did that for a test in high school.
Nice.
I did that monologue with somebody else, and I learned every single line, and this other person I worked with did not learn one. Not a single one. And so we got tested, and the guy instantly tried to improv right off of the first line, and I just took a deep sigh. And I told my teacher, I was like, listen, I know this whole thing. I want my grade. And he was like, if you can recite the whole thing for me, you can get the grade. And I did. And ka-chow, got it. Anyway, moving on.
I could just see Jack and scene.
Yeah. Kevin Smith called out the Oscars over Spider-Man No Way Home getting snubbed for Best Picture.
I mean, who's really surprised by that?
Nobody. But he's got a point here. He goes, what the and this is a direct quote. What the fuck? They got 10 slots. They can't give one to the biggest fucking movie in the last 3 years? I mean, it just passed Avatar at the box office. You can't say Best Picture and look at that and deny it, even if it doesn't fucking win.
Yeah.
I mean, are you saying for a moment that Tom Holland, Zendaya, Benedict Cumberbatch, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Willem Dafoe, who's the guy who plays Dr. Octopus, Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, all those people, Jon Favreau, none of them are worthy of the Best Picture? All those actors, and none of them that I named right there are bad actors.
Marissa Tomei.
No, it's not Marissa Tomei.
I thought that was Marissa Tomei was his aunt.
No. Is it Marissa Tomei?
I swore it was.
I don't think that's her name. But anyway, all those folks in that movie are not good. You know what I mean? Like, we can't even get them a mention. I completely get it. Look how much money it made. It's third right now.
Is that just because of all the special effects?
Next to Star Wars and Endgame. No, it's because it's a superhero movie.
Hey, and I know my Marissa Tomei movies.
It is?
Tomei.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure she's breathing easy at home knowing that you backed her up.
No, she's not breathing at all anymore. She had the thing flying to her.
Whoops. Got her.
Yikes.
Yeah, that movie's been out long enough. Sorry. If you're listening to this religiously, you already know.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And his watch
Ryan's
comes
Siri
up.
just goes, no need to apologize, motherfucker. I know my Marissa Tomei.
Wow, it didn't say anything past apologize.
No, it didn't.
It definitely did.
Anyway, here's some good exciting news. Loki season 2 is already confirmed.
Thank goodness.
I'm super hyped. Owen Wilson confirms Mobius will return and filming begins very soon.
And will he get his jet ski?
That's all I need
Let's
to know.
sit around and wait, find out.
This
Together.
series will not ever be complete until you see Agent Mobius on a jet ski.
That bitch needs to be the final scene.
Yep.
It needs to be the final scene of the entire series of him just piecing out into the sunset on a freaking Sea-Doo. Okay?
All covered in what are those things?
Women?
Wow, no. The stones. The
Infinity Stones.
There you go.
All the ones that are used as paperweights. He's
Yeah.
just got them all over the Sea-Doo.
All over the CD.
Fuck it.
Just riding
Just
out.
bedazzled.
Yeah,
Bedazzled
just
out.
bedazzled.
Reality stones and time stones.
Yep.
I'm about
He
it.
doesn't get that wave. He activates the time stone, goes right back. Cacao! Hits it again.
And hits it perfectly.
Yeah. I've hit that wave 7 to. How many times have you hit that wave, Mobius? 14,700,526. How many did you land?
One.
One.
Big
Unnecessary
waves is
humor.
coming. Big
Yeah.
waves coming. Doctor Strange shows up,
Yeah.
holds up the one finger.
Yeah, that's the one.
He just
No,
guns
it's
it.
not even. It's Doctor Strange in like a floaty unicorn or something. He looks over and he's just like, and he's got the shaky hands and gives him the one. Mobius gives him the nod. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Sorry, that was an Owen Wilson.
Jumps a whole shark when it does it. Great.
Yeah. So speaking of Doctor Strange, man, I'm usually the segue king, and you just crushed it, my friend.
I'm coming for the crown.
There's rumor of a certain very popular superhero joining that franchise
Is it
because
Deadpool?
somebody put a magnifying glass up to the poster, and I gotta say, it looks pretty damn close
To that
to
symbol or whatever.
everyone's favorite Merc with the mouth.
Yeah.
And it's like, is Deadpool in the multiverse of madness?
I mean, if ever to bring him in, this would be a great time.
That's what I've been saying. I've said this exact thing, that Ryan Reynolds is the highest paid MCU actor right now that hasn't shot a frame of film.
Nope.
And if you're going to already show us Patrick Stewart, that's not that's in the fucking trailer. You hear his voice. I mean, so if you see that, why can't Deadpool be somewhere? You don't even need 10 seconds worth of Deadpool for that to be an amazing cameo and be one thing they talk about throughout that movie.
I could just see like the realities breaking and then him just putting his hands on his face and going, oh.
Yeah.
it.
And just looking at it like,
It just breaks the fourth wall. Mhm.
whoopsie. So Ryan Reynolds has already come out and said, guys, I'm not in the movie. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
no
what we
matter
heard.
what you think,
Sure
I'm
you're
not in
not.
the movie.
Sure you're not
and
Tom Holland.
unfortunately, yeah, not Tom Holland. Not Tom Holland. Andrew Garfield.
Oh, yeah, but Tom
Yeah.
Holland. Yeah, anyway.
Unfortunately, we've been lied to already. So I don't know if I believe you, but when asked about it, a guy apparently named Mark came up to Ryan Reynolds and asked him about being in the Multiverse of Madness, and here's how that conversation went.
That's what Cyborg went.
He said, "Oh wow, Mark, that's like the least covert trap I've ever seen in my life." No, that was a 1978 leg hold trap from Russia. I saw that from 100 miles away. Yeah, I'm not really supposed to. I guess I'm not. I guess I'm not really supposed to say anything about that. But I'm really not in the movie. I could be lying, but I promise you, I'm not in the movie. He goes, "We're good. We're good. We're good. There's a team of people outside ready to neutralize you as soon as you leave here."
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is very adamant about not being in this film. And I don't know if I believe him.
I
don't know if I believe him. And there was also a shot of an animated universe in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And you know, anytime we bring up animated, who we think we might see,
Mr. Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. And
Or Porky Pig, Spider-Man.
I guess depending on who you are, a bit of sad news, I don't know, is that we have finally confirmed from Kevin Feige that Endgame is the last Avengers movie we will ever get. Now, that does not mean it's the last movie we will get with an Avenger in it, but they will no longer, like it was Avengers Age of Ultron, Endgame, Infinity War. We won't get those titled movies anymore. Now, these mashups, like, golly, we've already seen with No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, clearly the universes are coming together. We're going to see a lot more big-scaled movies, but hey, congratulations to the Marvel Group. 22 movie saga, never been done before. Let's hear it for them. Congratulations, Kev. Good job, Kev.
I'm a little sad now.
Yeah, me too.
I would love to hear Avengers assemble and just a whole different group of guys this time around.
For sure. And I wanted Avengers versus X-Men. But I don't think we'll ever see anything that's like, because that title wouldn't be Avengers versus X-Men. You know, it would just be like Marvel, I don't know what, Marvel War. I have no idea.
Marvel Smash.
But yeah, Super Marvel Smash. That'll work out nicely. So on to TV and movie news, shall we?
Sure.
Uncharted came out this weekend. Good for them. Yeah. Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg busted out the door with $51 million on the box office weekend opener.
That's not bad.
Good for them. I'm hard pressed to think anything would have beat them. Jackass number 4 is still out, but that's not beating him. Spider-Man No Way Home is not going to beat that at this stage.
You never know.
It still needs it needs like $85 million to get the number 1 spot, so it's not going to get that. But still, pretty incredible. I think we're going to go see that pretty soon, actually, the Uncharted film. So that should be good. Another movie was announced.
For some reason, $51 million doesn't sound like that much.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I wonder what the budget for that movie was. Had to be over $100 million.
Yep. Like we ain't even broke even yet.
Yeah, we haven't even paid Tom Holland yet.
Yeah.
Nope.
Or Mark.
He's
going to pay everybody in burgers, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going to get them all a spot on Entourage as part of their payment. But here's a throwback. Now, I don't know how old you, our listener, is, but when I was a young man, there was a very famous cartoon that was on every morning, and a lot of us kids watched it when we were in our wee ages, and that was Chip and Dale
Rescue Rangers.
Yeah. I used to love that game.
I got to go ahead and tell you, when you say the Chip and Dale, if somebody hears that and they know that show, they are saying the Rescue Rangers part out loud.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a must have. And it's going to be voiced. It's a live action movie starring John Mulaney, who plays Spider Pig. And he's also did a lot of writing for Saturday Night Live. And my man, Andy Samberg.
He's on Big Mouth as best I know him.
That's right. So that movie actually looks pretty good. Pretty okay, good.
Sure.
I'm excited because Andy Samberg is just he's hilarious.
Yes.
So I want to see where that goes. And then Netflix coming out with a Bioshock movie. We talked about that on the list, but they also said that Take-Two Interactive and Netflix have partnered to make the Bioshock movie with hopes to potentially develop a cinematic universe based on the game. You play any Bioshock?
No, I have not.
It never grabbed me. It was never one that I was like, now, clearly it's got a lot of success. And that character from the Bioshock universe, the Big Daddy, the Big Mech, is iconic in video games. Even if you haven't played it, you know what that is.
Yeah, I know what it looks like.
Yeah, it's the big glass head with the drill arm and stuff like that. It looks badass. And from what I could tell, it's guns and magic and all that other jazz. So I'm here for it.
I don't know. I always thought it was something that took place underwater because there's a big glass head.
I thought the same thing.
I don't know.
Maybe it does still take place underwater. I don't know. Somebody who played a lot of Bioshock, let us know. Let's see. Star Trek. My favorite is reuniting the J.J. Abrams cast, or the J.J. Abrams with the Chris Pine cast to make the 4th movie.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad at it either. I love those movies.
I think there's been a lot of Star Trek things kind of thrown at us lately, and I really like the old Star Trek, so
Next Generation.
I try to be optimistic, but I do like the Star Trek movies, so I think I am excited.
I do too. I'm a big fan, and I like Chris Pine as Captain Kirk. I think he does a great job.
I don't think I've watched a single one of the new Star Trek movies.
Really?
Yeah,
You're
I
missing
own
out.
one or two of them.
They're good.
I think it's still sealed.
Yeah, they're good.
I've never watched it.
They are good films, I will say, to be deep and brooding. They're good films.
I
Does
like
that
the
help?
TV show.
You like the TV show for...
Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
used to
Next
care for it when I was
Generation
a
was
kid.
my jam. I used to watch that all the time.
When I got older, I really liked it.
Yeah, Commander Worf,
It's
Data.
awesome.
Riker was my guy. Riker's just always such a smooth pimp, and no matter what the situation.
I like the one with the Borg chick.
Yeah, the movie with the Borg chick.
Ryan.
Oh, you're talking about the TV show with the
Yeah,
Borg. Is that Voyager?
Voyager, I think it was what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, she could get those cheeks clapped for sure.
Oh boy.
Well, there we go. And moving on, the Bender voice actor not returning to Futurama, but here's his full statement.
Did
It's
he
not that
just
it's
say-
official.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
He said it's about respect. Just to be clear, and this is the direct quote from John DiMaggio, who plays Bender.
I thought he was a baseball player.
Nope. Just to be clear, I don't think that only I deserve to be paid more. I think the entire cast does. Negotiations are a natural part of working in show business. Everyone has a different strategy and different boundaries. Their price, some accept offers, some hold their ground. Bender is part of my soul, and nothing about this is meant to be disrespectful to the fans or my Futurama family. Sign off on John DiMaggio.
And yet.
And yet he's not coming back.
Yeah.
And I guess I gotta agree with him, man.
Yeah, I mean, get your money, bro.
Yeah, get paid.
It's one of those things where I'm sure back then he probably didn't make a lot of money,
Yeah,
and now it's huge, and there's a lot of money in that.
there's
him.
a huge fandom that follows not only Futurama but specifically Bender.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Katie Siegel's getting paid.
Katie Siegel is the Cyclops chick,
Yep.
right? Yeah, she was also in Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yep,
Most famous as Peg in Married with Children.
I don't know about that anymore.
Psh, you show me her, that's Peg all day.
I never watched a ton of Married with Children, so maybe
I used to
we'll
watch
go
it
back.
all the time, and first didn't get it when I was a kid. Al Bundy's my fucking spirit animal. I understand him so much right now.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
is that on a streaming service now?
It's gotta be.
I think so. Yeah,
It's
What's it
gotta
on?
be on all of the streaming
I'm
services.
not sure
I don't
which
know.
one it's on, but I want to say that my wife was watching it maybe the other day.
I really liked Al Bundy
ran
in
across
Modern Family. I thought he was really good in that.
Ed O'Neill.
But anyway, good luck to them. Hopefully, the Futurama folks get what they want. So here's our second bit of John Cena news. He's going into another movie, a Looney Tunes movie, which has got to be better than Space Jam 2.
Was
Because
it
Space
like
Jam
Space Jam
2
3?
was terrible.
This
Was
isn't
it
going to be
Space
like
Jam
a
3?
soccer movie or something.
Wrestling?
This one is going to be centered around the iconic Wile E. Coyote.
Okay.
And him
I'm in.
destroying like the Acme verse and live action verse. He is just causing pure mayhem and drama, and John Cena is playing the Acme attorney trying to stop him.
Nice.
So it sounds like John Cena might be the bad guy for that one, in which
Perfect.
case everybody's going to love it
I'm
anyway.
here for
And
it.
he's still not going to catch that damn Roadrunner.
No,
No,
sorry, Wiley. That's just not in the cards, bud.
you would ruin all thoughts of, what we grew up knowing we could get away with whatever we wanted. If
Yeah, for sure.
you
For sure.
caught him, that would be.
If he ever
the
does
worst.
actually get caught in like some sort of final way, it's just like, we're done here.
Yeah, I mean,
Childhood ruined.
I now no longer feel untouchable. So you have ruined my childhood. Thanks.
Speaking of ruining childhoods, Stranger Things season 4
Yeah, that's a fucked up childhood.
coming out.
Poor kids.
Poor number 11. The premiere is supposedly going to be longer than any other season that they've done so far, and season 5 is to cap off the entire series.
Nice.
It's going to end with season 5.
I honestly
That-
thought they were going to be done with it after like season 3 or season 4.
I dig it.
just thought that I heard that
Yeah.
somewhere. So I'm happy. I'm here for it. I think that that's a great little series. It's definitely interesting and something different than we see anywhere else, which I appreciate. So I'm here for it.
I think it's very smart that they're starting to end
Yeah.
series now instead
They're
of
not-
dragging them out.
Season 39.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking know who these characters are
shows
anymore.
like Lost. Lost would have been considered one of the greatest shows of all time. It still is.
If
but
it
it would have
had
been considered
stopped.
even better if it had stopped much earlier.
Yeah.
Because they dragged that out until that horse was glue.
I think about 5 seasons is like that perfect
Yeah.
spot.
I don't disagree.
Depending on the story you have to tell, 5 seasons or below.
And depending on the depth and the world that you're building, because a lot of these worlds that we're looking at are really, small. They're really compact. There's not much to broaden and go on. There could be, but is it really worth it? Is there enough substance to go after that? And a lot of these shows haven't asked themselves that question. Now, sitcom stuff like The Office, you can go as long as you want. Sometimes you look at stuff like Parks and Rec, they picked a good time to end it. The Office, they waited a little long. They should have ended it with Steve Carell, I think. But, those other guys wanted their shot to shine, and Dwight was a great character to follow up with. So, I don't know. But Stranger Things, this is one of those series, 4 to 5 is going to be absolutely perfect.
I've never seen The Office, but, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I had a train of thought.
That was very, I was about to say, that was a very good thought on it.
Oh, no. Like, before I left the house, the wife is watching, what is it, Grey's Anatomy in, like, season 17. Like, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen this episode before. Well, no, you haven't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen the same exact thing happen before.
Isn't this the one where the guy dies or he doesn't?
Oh, well, that's what I was going to say. Just like you say, kind of House, for example.
Yep.
How long does that really need to be?
House was one of those shows I never understood because it hit the same stride
I loved it.
every episode.
I loved it. I didn't care. The suspense, whether it was up or down, I didn't care. I felt like I was learning something new every time I watched that show, and the person was always saved because he's a genius and he's a pill popper. That's literally the premise of the story.
You've seen one episode of House, you have seen them all.
I don't know. But then there's like the love thing in the background with the other characters, and it makes it a little soap opera-y, and it just adds a little bit of flavor. So you have to follow the story for that. It's just fun and exciting to see all these people with all these like life-threatening situations, and he just comes out batting 1,000 every time.
This patient here is bleeding his organs out of his asshole.
I don't think anybody ever dies on that show.
I used
Maybe
to
once
do
or
that
twice.
when I went to the state fair, so I'm going to go sit in this room, and you guys are going to work on it. They're going to come up with one. It's like, that's not going to work because the patient has 2 left feet. Some fucking stupid shit. And
Yeah,
then at
it was
the end,
amazing.
the patient's getting ready to
cancer.
die, and he walks in, he goes, have you guys tried putting the organs back up his asshole? And then they do it, and he's like, I'm a genius. And the patient's like crying, thank you, Dr. House. And he's like, it's what I do. I'm going to go.
I kind of just like this.
And he limps out.
His manner, the way he just called the person a straight liar to their face or this or that. I'm like, I liked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there for it.
I listen, clearly it's got a great
And
But I also,
love
like, was
the
at the
way he
beginning of the
messes
show,
people.
there's probably people cursing me out because I didn't want to live in a Disney World residential neighborhood either. So
But you know what,
different
though?
strokes for different folks.
And at the end of the day, we don't care what you do with your life, just like you don't care what we do with ours.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mandalorian, season 3.
Woo!
Pedro Pascal talks about a lot of new faces are coming in for season 3. And I want to elaborate on this. But before I do that, let's go ahead and give you your mandatory. There will be spoilers for Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to get into it. We're about to start talking about the subject matter. I say this over and over again so you have time to know we're getting ready to get into it. So, without further ado, let's talk about the Book of Boba Fett.
Do it.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
First and foremost,
It's trash. Let's go.
there's a lot of people who so for the guy who's A, not a Star Wars fan,
Let's
and
wrap
B,
it
doesn't
up.
like to watch anything, I'm not surprised to hear you say that.
Wrap
For those
this
people
shit up,
who were definitely feeling like Boba Fett was an iconic character from back in the day, even though he only has one line. He's the only guy that Darth Vader, the baddest motherfucker in the universe, pays any respect to throughout the entire series, not named Luke Skywalker or the Emperor. Then you were hyped for this show. And what I found out, did you like Mandalorian?
Never saw the Mandalorian.
Nah, well, there you go. So Mando is in this show a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There is almost an entire episode dedicated to Mando.
Yep.
And his relationship, how it's going without Grogu, or Baby Yoda, as a lot of people like to call him.
The child.
And the child. And then I was like, why the fuck is there so much Mando in the Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah, please tell me, because I have an argument against that.
And then I saw this statistic that Book of Boba Fett did 36% better than the season 2 finale of Mandalorian. I was like, oh, that's why. Because Boba Fett is a huge name. If you don't know Mandalorian and you don't want to worry about the original Star Wars, but you know Boba Fett and you want to watch Boba Fett, they go, we're going to throw Mando in here because we know you're going to like it. And so they put him in there to get exposure for Mandalorian season 3.
Okay, so for me being the guy who's not a Star Wars nerd,
Right.
I thought the Mandalorian had something to do with Boba Fett because they wear almost the same similar kind of armor.
They do.
So I thought that I was like some kind of cousin or something. I don't know.
Is that Boba Fett's cousin?
like black people, you know, they got the same armor on, they're all related.
Right.
Like
same armor.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This show, at first watching it, the first episode, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to tell these guys that sorry, but I'm gonna bow out because I do not care about Star Wars. And I know you guys said like The Mandalorian, you had not have paid attention to Star Wars and you don't know anything.
Right.
Boba Fett, I'm watching this and I'm like, a lot of this shit has to do with Star Wars.
Right.
And I know bits and pieces. So like, if you didn't know who Jabba the Hutt was, you got something like it's gonna be a little rough for you there, like it was for me. I happened to find out that I knew that Boba Fett supposedly got swallowed by something. So in the beginning, when he's
the Sarlacc pit,
so I'm like, okay, that's where he's at now. Didn't know anything else other than that, but to be quite honest, I really enjoyed the show, and then I enjoyed it a lot more when the Mandalorian showed up.
So that was going to be my argument. Keep going.
It's going to actually make me go back now and watch the Mandalorian.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And so that right there, that comment, I was like, as soon as I saw that statistic, 1.5 million more households watched the Boba Fett finale than watched Mando. I was like, this is to get people sucked into Mando. And not to mention, for me, who's a fan of both, and knows Star Wars canon, I am not a Star Wars fanatic per se. I very much enjoyed the Star Trek side of it more. I was into that, but I'm not dissing on Star Wars at all. But as a Star Wars fan that likes anything not Jedi, Boba Fett was my shit. I grew up loving that dude. And Mando has been my jam because there's not always this constant search your feelings, pick up that rock with your mind, let's go fight some Sith Lords. That to me, I was like, eh. But when they made Rogue One, I was like, Star Wars got me back. I'm in. And then they started making Mando. I'm like, I want to see more of this. And then we start seeing Boba Fett coming back, and it's just more and more. And the amount of Jedi that's sprinkled into Mando and Book of Boba Fett, that's all I need. You can give me that little bit, and I'm okay with moving on.
So, to my point in agreeance to Ryan's argument is that I also enjoyed it more when Mando showed up. But I think, so the reason that I don't want to say the reason I feel that way. I think what made Boba Fett so amazing was the one-liner, was the mystery, was the I'm a badass and nobody can fuck around and find out. That's what, and so not that I didn't like seeing Boba Fett now and how it started, how the series started was absolutely amazing. I think that was perfect. But I was okay with Mando, it basically being Mando season 2.
3.
Sure.
Or 2.5.
Yes, because those characters are developed, and I don't know, I feel like personally I love Boba Fett, but I feel like I got lost in that because I didn't really know anything about Boba Fett going into watching the series. So it's like you maybe feel a little bit different, but it's like in the beginning I was like easily distracted, and like Mark and I always used to say, if I'm sitting there on my phone when I'm watching something, I'm clearly not invested in it. That's not just because I'm just like distracted, just because I'm just not enjoying it most of the time.
Yeah, like I said, the first episode or two, I was like, eh. All I knew about Boba Fett was that I thought he was supposed to be some kind of badass. Like, I thought he was a bounty hunter.
And he is.
And he's supposed to be some kind of badass. Mm-hmm. And then I watched the guy from the desert, who was probably a woman, whoop his ass. And then I was like, yeah, this is supposed to be, is this your king? This is what we had watched the whole TV series on? A guy you just got whooped by somebody with a stick.
I mean,
bro.
He's also an old man, so there's that. But I think that I preferred Boba Fett sprinkled into Mando than Mando showing up in Boba Fett. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I think
like it.
I think we like Mando and
Yeah.
Din Djarin because we've been with him since his inception of the Star Wars universe. You know more about him if you've been watching that. Me, I've been watching Boba Fett for a long time, and you're right. So me as a Star Wars fan that knows more than what's on screen, like I read comics about Boba Fett too. There's more to know, and there's more. His reputation precedes him. Yeah. And so you're watching that, and as a Star Wars, an established fan,
Yeah.
I could see you being like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know Boba are like, when's the good shit going to start?
Yeah.
When's he going to get into it with somebody so I can find out why he's this badass? And unfortunately, in this series, which hopefully there's a season 2, you don't find out until the last episode.
Yeah.
And there were some characters in this series too. I guess we'll do the good, the bad, and the ugly for me.
Okay.
The good.
The bad and the ugly?
Yeah.
Kind of like a Western, just like a lot of their showdowns.
You could definitely get a huge Western vibe from the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Rodriguez, who obviously did Once Upon a Time in Mexico. He did Desperado. He's done a lot of those Western-style movies. Big influences in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Even the introduction of a live-action Cad Bane from the Clone Wars series, who was, for those of you who don't know, the guy with the red eyes.
Okay, that's who that was. I was
And the
going to
shark
ask who
teeth.
that was.
Yeah. He was awesome.
He is... Okay, so when you look at the Star Wars universe, for people who don't really know much, when you're looking at top-tier bounty hunters, Boba Fett's here, Cad Bane's either equal or a little higher. He
As far
goes
as
after
strength and
he goes
stuff?
after Jedis on the regular
Oh, wow.
and wins. So he's a bad dude. So for him to show up, everybody was kind of like, "Oh shit." Because when he shows up in Clone Wars, you knew somebody was going to die.
Yeah,
Damn.
see, the way he talked, I thought they might have like been acquaintances at one point in time. Like maybe Train came up together when he's calling him an old man. And
They did. So they came up with Jango, who was Boba's dad. So Jango Fett trained Cad Bane, and Cad Bane trained with and trained Boba a little bit. Boba Fett being the unaltered clone of Jango.
so was Django was a badass himself. Too,
Jango
or-
was a bad mother effer. He also took out quite a few Jedi and was only beaten by the biggest, blackest Jedi in the universe, Mr. Mace Windu.
Samuel L. Jackson.
That's right.
So that's my other thing is I don't know what a Jedi. I don't know anything. That shit makes my head hurt, man.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Sit back and I'm like, I remember watching the 6 movies. The first 3 I liked more, which I found
Same.
really surprising.
Same.
I'm like, this is old, but it looked better than the new ones.
So the story in the old ones I felt was better. The action and some of the fighting sequences in the newer ones, completely better.
Yeah. I did like when Yoda grabbed the lightsaber and got down and whatever, when that was pretty awesome.
Fighting in the Senate.
Yeah, but
The thing that made everybody freak out the most is when the Emperor, everybody's like, oh man, what is somebody going to do with Force lightning? And there were 2 dudes, Mace Windu and Yoda, that handled that Force lightning. And anytime that happened, you were like, oh.
see, I don't even know what any of that is.
Yeah.
Chinese to me.
Yep.
You don't remember the fight in the Senate when the
little
Emperor
lightning bolt?
shoots the lightning and Yoda just catches it in the palm of his hand and then shoots it back at him?
Pretty
Yeah,
dope.
but I didn't think that was that big a deal. I don't know.
Nobody else in the history of the Star Wars series had done that.
Oh, okay.
And they tried to get Mace Windu with it, and Mace put it on the lightsaber. I was like, I'm going to give this right back to you.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to watch them again and maybe watch the most current ones too.
Yeah.
Me and the wife have talked about it. We'll
I
just
haven't
do that one
seen
weekend.
the most recent 3. I've seen The Force Awakens. I saw the Return of the, not Return of the Jedi, the second one with Rey. And I have not seen the last one just off of principle.
with Ray. Who was that? Is that the chick that
Rey's
was
the chick in the most recent trilogy.
Yep.
Oh, who
With the buns.
who
on her hair.
was Rosario Dawson?
Oh, she
That's
was
her.
Ahsoka Tano.
She is amazingly cool.
She plays Ahsoka Tano. For those of you who don't know Star Wars, that is Anakin Skywalker, a.k.a. Darth Vader's Padawan, before he turned to the dark side. So Darth was training her whole life. And then when she's finally ready to do the trials, everything goes down.
What is
Order
that
99.
is that Rebel? Not Rebel Wars. What is the
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars? That's the
Yeah.
animated series she's in. Isn't Rebel Wars a different one?
Nope. There was a Rebel Squadron that they were going to do a show for that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, so that stuff isn't shown in the movies then. Her
Ahsoka
character.
is not. No.
All right. See, this is why Star Wars gets so convoluted.
Yeah.
Because like there's things that are canon, things that are not canon.
Yep.
You have all kinds of stuff all over the place.
Yeah, it's tough to follow.
And I'm like, I don't know who Rosario Dawson's supposed to be,
Yeah.
but
What-
I would definitely use my force to clap them cheeks.
Now I know there was somebody that you saw and you were instantly like, I gotta find out more about this motherfucker, and that's Black Chrysanthemum, who is the big black Wookiee.
Yeah.
I know as soon as he showed up, you were like, okay, I want to see this dude cut loose.
I was like, it's Chewie's cousin. Yeah, no, I was.
You know,
wondering what
there
he
was
did.
a lot of stuff about him, and I was expecting a lot more, and I guess maybe it's just the shooting or whatever it was, but I wasn't. When he finally got to fight and cut loose, I was like, oh, okay, he's really good at getting shot.
Yeah, like that's kind of the disappointing thing. Like he's supposed to be some gladiator. I thought he was gonna fuck up that whole town.
Me
They
too. I
turned on him
thought when all those guys surrounded him, he was gonna absolutely wreck them.
and just be like sitting there chilling, like, "Yo, did you guys handle your half? I got
Yeah,
my
yeah.
guys." But that was not the case.
But yeah, that was the great thing though, was the standoffs between Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth, who is the marshal from Freetown. He's also in Mando season 2. That guy's really good. I want to see Timothy Oliphant back, showing up for Book of Boba Fett season 2, or
Wow.
possibly get his own thing.
I didn't even realize that's who he was.
Yep, that's the guy from Justified.
Hitman.
Yep. Yeah, Hitman.
Yep. Agent 47.
Yep.
Oh.
So, lots of characters showed up in Boba Fett.
Including Grogu.
Grogu, who had to make a major decision of, do you want to train with a Jedi or do you want to be a Mandalorian? And he goes, give me my shirt.
Okay, so that's another thing. Why can't he just do both?
That's another thing that a lot of people have talked about, and it's a great flaw within the Star Wars universe, because that was one thing that was talked about, is like, wait a minute, because in the future series, they talk about how Kylo Ren or Ben Solo killed the whole new Jedi Temple. He killed everybody. And everybody's like, oh, well, what about Grogu? Because Grogu he's about to be trained by Luke. Is he killed? And now Grogu's like, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
And then, so the big thing is with the whole thing, to me, just to finish that thought, and then I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had the greatest album of all time. You know what I'm joking. Anyway, the whole thing of it didn't work. The Jedi Temple got destroyed. It's not the right thing, right? Like maybe we need to look away from material detachments. Luke, when he became a Jedi, was way too fucking old to be trained in terms of the way the traditional way was done. So you would think that he'd be like, you know what, man, it's cool that you like the Mandalorian. You hold on to that. And we're going to work on the Force here too. And maybe get a hybrid. But he was like, listen, if you can't let go of your material shit, you got to go.
Yeah. Okay, so, and also, Luke Skywalker seemed to be kind of young.
Yeah.
When the hell does this take place?
This takes place after Return of the Jedi. So, after the Death Star is destroyed, Emperor Palpatine is presumed dead. Anakin Skywalker is dead. This is that Luke Skywalker leaving and trying to rebuild the Jedi Order by himself.
So it's like the Jedi religion.
The Jedi, yeah, it's kind of a religion for sure.
It's like you have to
Welcome to
choose
Star
that
Wars
path.
101.
Those guys are able to tap into the natural energy of the universe and manipulate it to not only increase their abilities, but their understandings, their feelings, their everything. And those Jedi have that specific ability to be able to do that. The Sith do too, only they are
evil as
the
shit.
complete opposite, and they don't care about anything, and they're definitely down to kill everybody. And the Jedi are supposed to be protectors of everyone.
Oh, because I remember them doing the Jedi mind tricks. I'm like, oh, I need to learn that.
So, but that's what I was going to say, is like, when you look at Book of Boba Fett, you got Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Mandalorian, you had Jabba Fett mentioned, you had Black Chrysanthemum, you had, Cobb Vanth, Cad Bane, all these huge names. There were a couple episodes where I was like, this is the Book of Boba Fett, right?
Yeah.
Like, where's Boba? That's what we want to see.
That was kind of my thing too, is like, I know that he was very much in the beginning, and maybe that's why I fell off a little bit, because like I feel like it did get a little convoluted with a lot of other shit that was happening. So if it was going to be about Boba Fett, it probably should have been maybe more about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And then we could have had like the Mando kickoff to season 3 point,
which is what this felt like.
But I felt like if that was the case, then it should have been maybe a few extra episodes, or they should have tried to maybe cut out some of the extra stuff, because at this point everybody has fallen in love with Mandalorian and Grogu. Like everybody has, even people who loved Boba Fett back in the day. So everybody saw the Boba Fett name and was here for it, but mostly everyone, not to call Ryan out as someone who hasn't, watched Mando before obviously going into Boba Fett. So it's like you see them and you get excited as if it is, and it's so early, like it's so early in the Boba Fett series that I just feel like it really kind of stole the show from Boba Fett. And as somebody, again, who loved that he was so mysterious and just a one-liner, and I hated the fact that he died in the movies, or so he didn't.
Right.
But I loved how kind of mysterious and badass and awesome he was. And then when he comes back in Mando, that was dope and crazy too. I don't know. I'm rambling, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like there was a lot of Mando that I didn't hate, but I felt like it kind of took away from the purpose of it being a Boba Fett show. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, because my thing too is like, so he takes over this Jabba the Hutt's joint and becomes like a king. Is he ever mentioned like that in that position in any of the other Star Wars?
So they don't go back to Tatooine, so there's no purpose of mentioning him for the other stories. So in the actual comic books, yeah, Boba's mentioned, well, up until he dies. So no, this is brand new lore for Boba Fett.
All right. Now then my other question, did I miss it? Where the hell did they, when he was going back looking for his armor, did they ever wrap that up?
What do you mean?
Because remember they went to the whole...
Oh, that's in Mandalorian Season 2. Mandalorian Season 2, they find Boba Fett recovering his armor. So in the original in Season 2, spoilers for Season 2 of Mandalorian, which we've probably already spoiled for you, that guy Cobb Vanth, played by Timothy Oliphant, in Season 2, the Mandalorian goes to his town looking for him because he's looking for others of his kind, and somebody goes, there's a dude wearing armor just like you in this town. Mando shows up, finds the sheriff wearing Boba Fett's armor.
Okay, well...
And Mando's like, yo, bitch, where'd you get the armor? Mm-hmm. Because as soon as Cobb shows up, he takes his helmet off, and in the Mandalorian creed, which is more like a religion than almost as much of a religion as the Jedi, the Mandalorians don't take their helmets off in front of other people.
Nope.
And this guy takes his helmet off, and Mando goes, all right, well, you're either going to take all the armor off, or I'm going to kill you and take it off your dead body. And so then that whole thing plays out, and then Mando reclaims the armor, and then Boba gets it from him.
Okay, well, I was talking about in this, because in this, the guys strip him of it. The little, whatchamacallits at the beginning, strip him of
it. The
it.
Jawas, yeah.
Yeah, so...
They don't show how he gets it back.
Okay, so they didn't resolve that. I wasn't crazy. I'm sitting here watching, it's like, wait.
Yeah, how did he get it back?
Has the armor, how did he get it back? They went on the whole thing looking for it.
That's Season 2 Mandalorian.
Okay, so that ties into that Boba
100% directly.
Gotcha.
That's Boba's first resurgence is in Mandalorian Season 2.
Okay, and the guy who, the sheriff who gets shot.
Yes.
Who is he again?
He is the sheriff of the town on Tatooine, which is now Freetown.
Got it. But he said that he had armor. Is he also...
He's talking about Boba's old armor.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was Boba's old armor.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then my only other question, what's the deal with that half lightsaber sword?
The black
joint?
saber?
Yeah.
The black saber? The dark saber?
You're going to have to watch.
You want us to explain the significance of the dark saber?
That's a pretty big, significant part of Season 2, isn't it? Or is it Season 1?
That is the hugest part of Season 2.
Season 2, that's what I thought.
And whoever holds that lightsaber has the right to rule the planet Mandalore, where all the Mandalorians are from. It can only be won in combat.
By death.
No.
Okay, yeah, and I got that.
I thought it was by death.
They don't kill what's his name in the end. Well, anyway.
Yeah,
he just has to be whatchamacallit. But and so because he took his helmet off, he's no longer a Mandalorian.
That's not true, because you got to watch Mandalorian.
Yeah, you got to watch Mandalorian.
There are different factions of Mandalorian, and the one that he was a part of was like, you can't ever take your helmet off, you can't ever do anything but these rules right here. And he eventually finds Boba Fett and other people, and they're like, nah, dog, that ain't true. You've been hanging out with some crazy people. Anyway.
So Boba Fett is technically a Mandalorian.
No. He's just wearing Mandalorian armor. I know.
This is what
You gotta watch Mandalorian.
Star Wars is for freaking nerds. It's way too much going on, man. I shouldn't have to think that hard when I'm watching something.
Well, if you know, and that's the one thing that's bad. It's almost like video games when you check up on the 4th iteration of it. You got so much to catch up on. Same with Star Wars. But anyway, that's it for episode 94 of the Alter Ego podcast. Coming up on 100. What should we do for our 100th episode? We'd love to hear from you folks. Please tell us. Anyway, next week, Peacemaker. Ryan, Jack, Megan, we're out of here.
Jack and Megan, because Ryan's not watching Peacemaker. I'm trying first.
I'm disappointed in you.